Well, hi, thanks for joining me in my shop here. I'm going to be continuing with the removal of the on-off switch, which has become very suspect. It's always been suspect. Excuse me. And we're going to do this to the pleasant sound of laundry tumbling in the dryer across from me here. So I've already removed much of the solder. If you watched the last video, a video that was done a little differently than this one, you'll know that I've really worked to try and get these desoldered. Both the 6 contact pins in here and the 3 posts. Yeah. It's loose. It's loose. I think that's loose too. That one may not be loose, that last one there. See if I can give you a little better approach. So I think that post is still soldered. Maybe not. You know, it feels like this one's not moving. Let's see if we can kind of just... Sorry. Trying to put the wire on and knock the camera over. Of course I knocked the camera over. Okay. Well, that looks pretty good to me. Now some of these are still bent down. Here, if I can just... Yeah. I need something a little more knife-like. Okay, it should be coming out now, I think. This one looks soldered. Let's try a little more solder removal here. Put my hand right in front of the camera here, I think. Everything's moving except for this one right here. So let's see. What's holding it now? It looks like they've all got, you know, sort of like chunks of solder on the tips of the leads, little like nail heads. So I'm pulling nail heads through holes here, so I'm going to have to try and guess which one it is that's holding it back. Lots of stress and strain into the board everywhere. Here we go, it's coming out. There it goes. Oh, it looks great. Figured I'd beat it to death, but it looks pretty good. I'm looking right inside the switch. And I'm just looking at the looseness of that plastic slider in there, and I just can't believe it's making contact on the bottom of these pins. This switch is really easy to take apart. It's just going to come right apart here. Maybe not. These pins may be kind of fused into this plastic piece. Let's take a good close look here. They sure look like they're fused in there. I mean, that's what it looks like to me, but we never really know just how solid it might be unless we try to pry it out. So let's do that. I don't want to distort the metal too much. You know, there's two factors in bending metal. One is stress and the other is strain. You can stress metal. By definition, stress is doing what I'm doing to a piece of metal, but not so much that when you let go it doesn't return to exactly where it was. That's pretty stiff. And straining the metal is stressing it to the point where when you release the stress, the metal does not return to its original shape. Well, that sure feels like it's coming right out. Sorry about the focus there. I don't want it to pop back in. Yeah, this whole piece is coming off. It's not pulling through these contacts. The contacts are mounted on the bottom of the plastic, so of course the whole piece is coming off as one unit here. Dunk, there it comes. It's a little more than what I was expecting. So these guys are slid along. That's quite a bit more than I expected. Slide along, back and forth. There's another one. Not very good looking to me. Looks tarnished. Look very tarnished indeed. Well, I think it's all perfectly cleanable and reassemblable. Reassemblable. You got an extra bubble in there, and remountable. So that's a great thing. Let's see. How can we do that? How can we actually do that? Well, these we can just clean with some alcohol. Excuse me. Not sure I want to run any kind of abrasive on there necessarily. But we can start with a Q-tip and alcohol. That's pretty good. Try to remember the good place I put my Q-tips. I still don't remember what I did with them. Here they are. Yeah, it doesn't look like that's going to work very well. There's a lot of debris all over things here. Not taking much of anything off. No, there's definitely tarnish, or it's like a coating. Maybe there was originally some kind of fluid in here. I doubt it though. You know, lubricant or something. It does feel like there's kind of like a coating. Oh well, that's really... I don't have a burnishing tool, but I think you would need a little more than that on this. Air that was left, or fibers that were left. Now, one of the things that I found inside radio parts like this is what I imagine to be the result from a lot of smoking cigarettes. It wouldn't be so common anymore, since not nearly as many people smoke or smoke in their houses. But back in the 40s or the 50s, smoking was everywhere. I get a good look at it this time. You know, the light reflecting very nicely off the surface. There's definitely something on there. I'm scraping off. And I don't think this radio is in the hands of a smoker. I'm not suggesting that. I suppose there could be other volatile, slightly volatile materials like waxes in the components of the radio, and particularly if there's anything heating up. So let's say you got a transformer that has wax in it, and you warm it up. A certain amount of that wax is going to vaporize and potentially collect somewhere else. Well, I think that really is different from how it was. Did I get that part? First one I did. Now, what about these little contact things, which I don't dare drop these on the floor. Now, they look pretty bad. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak a little paper or no. I'm just gripping that lightly. I'm not sure this is going to work. Especially when the alcohol is dissolving some ink writing on the paper I'm using. This plan's not working out. There we go. Now, I'll just pinch it on the paper and drag it along. Oh yeah. Looks like you only get one direction drag here. Wow, did that do anything? You have better luck with the drier paper. Well, I don't know what else I can do to those things than what I'm doing. Whoa! I almost threw it. I want to be looking for this on the floor. Okay. Okay, get it through the alcohol here. Ah! Obviously I'm not using very good paper for this.
Is this live?
Just give me a second here. There we go. Kind of made a mess of that. There we go. Okay. All we gotta do now is just reassemble it.